So for this video, I'm going to discuss Math 9 module week number 3. So anyways, I am using here DepEd Calabarzon module for grade 9. So week 3 is about integral and zero exponents. So you have learned in previous lessons about laws of exponents. Let us recall these laws. So I think this is in your grade 7. So you have discussed this one in your grade 7 math lessons. Okay, so let us just have a short review for these laws of exponents. So for the first one is product of a power, a to the power of m times a to the power of n. This is equal to a to the power of m plus n. So copy the base and add the exponents. For example, if we're going to have x cubed times x squared, so we will just copy the base x, then add exponents, 3 plus 2, this is 5, so x to the power of 5. The second one is quotient of a power, a to the power of m over a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m minus n. So we will just copy the base, then subtract the exponents. For example, let's have x cubed over x squared. So copy the base x, then subtract the exponents. 3 minus 2 is 1, so you'll just have x. Then for power of a power, so you have a to the power of m being raised to the power of n. So this is equal to a, the base, then multiply the exponents, m times n. For example, if we're going to have x cubed squared, so you're going to copy the base x, so this will be equal to x, then multiply the exponents, 3 times 2, that will be 6. Next one is power of a product, a times b, or quantity of a times b raised to the power of m, equals a to the power of m times b to the power of m. So you're going to raise each of the factors to the same power m. Okay, so for example, let's have 2x cubed. Okay, so this will be equal to 2 cubed times x cubed. Okay, 2 cubed is 8, so your answer here will be 8x cubed. The next one is power of a quotient, quantity of a over b raised to the power of m. So you're going to raise the numerator and denominator to the same power m. Okay, so you're going to have a to the power of m over b to the power of m. For example, if you're going to have 1/4 squared, so this will be 1 squared over 4 squared, and this is equal to 1 squared is 1 over 4 squared 16, so 1 over 16. Okay, that is power of a quotient. So in the process of performing the laws of exponent, it may result to a positive, negative, or zero exponents. In this lesson, you will learn on how to simplify expressions with integrals, so integer exponents. So it's either positive or negative integers, or zero exponent, applying the different laws of exponent. Now let's have the first one, zero exponent. Okay, so the exponent for this expression is 0. So for example, simplify the expression a squared over a squared. Write this expression in factored form. So for the numerator, you're going to have a squared, a times a. For the denominator, same, a times a. So eliminate a in the numerator and denominator, so you're going to have 1. So applying the laws of exponent, quotient of a power, so the one that we have discussed a while ago, a squared over a squared. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy the base a, then you're going to subtract the exponents, 2 minus 2. So 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So we can have a to the power of 0. So in here we have a squared over a squared is equal to a to the power of 0. And a while ago we have solved, or the solution for our a squared over a squared is 1. So in here we can say that a to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Thus, for any variable or number a, where a is not equal to 0, a to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Okay? So if the exponent is 0, automatically the result is equal to 1. Okay? So let's have examples here. Number 1, 12x to the power of 0. So x to the power of 0, if we're going to simplify this one, this is equal to 1 because the exponent is 0. So you're going to have there 12 times 1 in here. 12 times 1 is equal to 12. So only variable x is raised to 0 power. Number 2. So in here, 12x is being enclosed by a parenthesis and it's being raised to 0. So in here, it means that you're going to raise 12x to the power of 0, unlike number 1, in which you only raise variable x to the power of 0. So since you are raising this one to power of 0, applying power of a product, we're going to raise 12 and x to the power of 0. So 12 to the power of 0 is 1. X to the power of 0 is 1. So we're going to have 1 times 1 equals 1. Okay? So the answer for quantity of 12x to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Number 3. X to the power of 0 plus 3 times the quantity of x plus 3 raised to the power of 0. So x to the power of 0 here, this is equal to 1. Okay? Then plus 3, so that is 1 plus 3. Then quantity of x plus 3 to the power of 0, so it is being closed by a parenthesis, meaning the binomial is being raised to 0. So it is equal to 1 here. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Then 4 times 1 is 4. So the expression x plus 3 is raised to 0 power, so it is equal to 1. So x to the power of 0 plus 3 times quantity of x plus 3 to the power of 0 is equal to 4. Number 4. Simplify 45a to the power of 4b squared over 5a to the power of 4b. Apply laws of exponents in simplifying. So for our solution, we're going to have 45 divided by 5 equals 9. Then a to the power of 4 over a to the power of 4. This a raised to the power of 4 minus 4 here. Then b squared divided by b, we're going to copy b, then subtract the exponents 2 minus 1. So you're going to have 9 times a to the power of 0, 4 minus 4 is 0. Then b squared minus 1, b raised to the power of 2 minus 1, that is b. So since a to the power of 0 is equal to 1, so we're going to have 9 times 1 times b. So the answer is 9b. Number 5. Simplify 2a to the power of 0 plus quantity of 2a to the power of 0 plus 2 to the power of 0a. So in here, 2a to the power of 0, you will just raise a to the power of 0. So for the second one, since 2a is enclosed with parentheses, you're going to raise 2a, the whole expression, to power of 0. And the third one, you will just raise here 2 to the power of 0. A is not included. Okay? So a to the power of 0 here is 1. So you're going to have 2 times 1. Then 2a raised to the power of 0 is 1. Then 2 to the power of 0 is 1. Then times a. Okay? 2 times 1 is 2. Then plus 1. Then times 1 times a is a. Then 2 plus 1 is 3. So you're going to have your answer as 3 plus a. Number 6, simplify 4m times a quantity of n minus p to the power of 0 over 4m to the power of 0. Okay, so n minus p enclosed with parentheses raised to the power of 0. So it means it is equal to 1. So you're going to have your answer as 4m times 1. Then in the denominator, m to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So you're going to have 4 times 1. Okay, so you have here 4m over 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So 1 times m is m. The next one is integral exponent. An expression has an integral exponent if the exponent is either positive or negative integers. The expressions like 3x, 5x to the power of negative 2 plus 2, m to the power of negative 8 are examples of expressions with integral exponents. One of the laws of exponent is quotient of a power, that is a to the power of m over a to the power of n equals, copy the base a, subtract the exponent of the numerator and denominator. So you're going to have m minus n. So apply this law of exponent in simplifying the following. Number 1, x to the power of 4 over x squared. So applying quotient of a power, so you're going to copy the base x, then subtract the exponents 4 and 2. So 4 minus 2. So 4 minus 2 is 2, so you're going to have your answer as x squared. Then you can use factoring to check the answer. So x to the power of 4, so x is being raised to 4th power, so you're going to have 4 factors of x, x times x times x times x. Then the denominator is x squared, 2 factors of x, so x times x. Then, using cancellation process, we're going to cancel 2 x's in the numerator and denominator. So cancel and cancel, so we're going to have our answer as x times x or x squared. Okay, this is by factoring or cancellation method. Then for number 2, x squared over x to the power of 4. So you're going to have x raised to the power of 2, the numerator or the exponent of the numerator, minus the exponent of denominator 4. So 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So your answer is x to the power of negative 2. So in here, the exponent is negative. Using factoring to simplify the expression, we're going to have x squared, the numerator x times x, and for the denominator x to the power of 4, 4 factors of x, x times x times x times x. Okay? Then using cancellation method, cancel 1x in the numerator and 1x in the denominator, and another x in the numerator and denominator. So what is left is, in the numerator, this is 1 times 1, so 1 over, in the denominator, x times x, which is x squared. So this is equal to 1 over x squared. Hence, the expression x raised to the power of negative 2 is equal to 1 over x squared. So in here, the negative sign in the exponent means the reciprocal. Thus, a to the power of negative n is equal to 1 over a raised to the power of n. Similarly, if the expression with negative exponent is in the denominator, get its reciprocal to express the exponent as positive. Therefore, 1 over a to the power of negative n is equal to a to the power of n. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Okay, let's have here number 3. Simplify 3x cubed y to the power of 6 over x to the power of 5 y to the power of 4. So for the solution, observe the exponents of each variable. Let the variable with greater exponent remain in its position, but subtract the smaller exponent from the larger exponent. So 3x cubed y to the power of 6 over x to the power of 5 y to the power of 4 is equal to, so in here for variable y, the exponent of the numerator is greater than the denominator. So we're going to have 3 times y, then 6 raised to the power of 6, then minus 4, the exponent of the denominator. And since x here, the exponent of the numerator is lesser than the denominator, so automatically put it in the denominator. So you're going to have x, then raised to the power of 5 minus 3. Okay? 5 minus 3. Then for our answer, we're going to have 3 times y to the power of 6 minus 4. That is 2, so 3y squared. Then for the denominator, over x to the power of 5 minus 3, that will be x squared. Or another way of solving this one is you're going to have 3, then x cubed over x to the power of 5, so times x to the power of 3 minus 5, that will be negative 2. Then y to the power of 6 over y to the power of 4, that will be y squared. Okay? Then x to the power of negative 2, this is equivalent to 1 over x squared. So we're going to have 3 times 1 over x squared over times y squared. Multiplying that one, so 3 times 1 times y squared is 3y squared, the numerator. Then over the denominator, x squared. So the same answer. Then example number 4, express all exponent to a positive integers. So 28a to the power of 5b to the power of 6c over 7a to the power of 5b to the power of 4c cubed. So 28 divided by 7 here is 4. A to the power of 5 over a to the power of 5 is a to the power of 0. B to the power of 6 over b to the power of 4. So 6 minus 4 is 2. So b squared. And since the exponent of the numerator is lesser than the exponent of the denominator for variable c, so we'll just put c in the denominator. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So we're going to have c squared. Then 4 times a to the power of 0 is 1. So 4 times 1 is 4 times b squared. So 4b squared. Then the denominator is c squared. So our answer here will be 4b squared over c squared. Letter B. Quantity of 5 minus 2 raised to the power of 5 times 3 to the power of negative 3 plus quantity of 5 plus 2 raised to the power of 0. So in here, 5 minus 2 equals 3. So 3 to the power of 5 in here. Then times 3 to the power of negative 3. Then quantity of 5 plus 2 raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So this is equal to 1 in here. Then applying the laws of exponent, 3 to the power of 5 times 3 to the power of negative 3, you're going to add you're going to copy the base 3 and add the exponent. So 5 plus negative 3 is 2. So you have here 3 squared. Then plus 1. 3 squared is 9. Then 9 plus 1 equals 10. Letter C. Quantity of 8 squared raised to the power of negative 1. Then times 10, or quantity of 10 minus 8 raised to the power of 14. Times 4 raised to the power of negative 5. So applying the laws of exponent, 8 squared raised to the power of negative 1, we're going to multiply the exponents. So copy the base 8. Then 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So 8 raised to the power of negative 2 times 10 minus 8 is 2 raised to the power of 14. So I think the given here is not 4 to the power of negative 5, but 4 to the power of negative 2. Okay? So if this is 4 to the power of negative 2, we're going to have our answer as 8 raised to the power of negative 2 times 2 to the power of 14 times 4 raised to the power of negative 2. Now, since these three expressions, we can write this one as base 2. So 8 here, we can have 8 as 2 cubed. Then times 2 to the power of 14. Then 4 is 2 squared. So 2 squared raised to the power of negative 2. Then 2 cubed raised to the power of negative 2. So we're going to copy the base 2. Then multiply the exponents. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So 2 to the power of negative 6 times 2 to the power of 14. Then 2 squared raised to the power of negative 2 is copy the base 2. Then multiply the exponents. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So 2 to the power of negative 6 times 2 to the power of 14 times 2 to the power of negative 4. Applying law of exponent here. Product of powers. So we can copy the base 2 here. Okay, all of the three above are base 2. So copy base 2, then add the exponents. So negative 6 plus 14 plus negative 4. The negative 6 plus 14 is 8. Then 8 plus negative 4 is 4. So our answer is 2 to the power of 4, which is equal to 16. Then letter D. Quantity of 5 minus 2 raised to the power of 5 times 3 to the power of negative 8 plus quantity of 5 plus 2 raised to the power of 0. So 5 minus 2 here is 3. So 3 to the power of 5 times 3 to the power of negative 8 plus 1. Okay. Then combining the 2 here, base 3. So copy the base 3. Then add the exponents. 5 plus negative 8 is negative 3. So you're going to have 3 to the power of negative 3 plus 1. Then 3 to the power of negative 3, we have a negative exponent. So this will be equal to 1 over 3 cubed plus 1. Then 1 over 3 cubed. So 3 cubed is 27. So you're going to have 1 over 27 here. And we can express 1 as denominator 27. So 1 is equal to 27 over 27 to make the two similar. So they are now similar here. So just copy the denominator 27. Then 1 plus 27 is 28. So our answer here will be 28 over 27. So let's have learning task number 1. So express the following expression into non-zero and non-negative exponents. So simplify your answer. So let's have number 1 as our example here. So 7 to the power of negative 1. So this is a negative exponent. So you can have your answer here as 1 over 7. Then for number 2, this is being raised to the power of 0. This is equal to 1. Okay? So again, there should be no 0 and negative exponents. And your answer should be in simplest form. Okay? That's for learning task number 1. For learning task number 2, you're going to find the single value of the following without exponent. So there should be no exponent in these problems here or in these items. So for example, number 1, 2 to the power of negative 2 times 3 to the power of negative 1. So 2 to the power of negative 2, this is 1 over 2 to the power of 2, which is 4. Then times 3 to the power of negative 1 is 1/3. So multiply, 1 times 1 is 1. Then 4 times 3 is 12. So this should be, so our answer should be 1 over 12. Then for number 2, 10 to the power of 0 is 1. So 1 plus 10, this is equal to 11. Okay, so just do the same for numbers 3 to number 15. So that's it for this video. So thank you for watching and see you next time.